Hello everyone, and hope you guys are doing great and welcome back to the channel. So in my today's video, I'm going to discuss with you about the recent Q4 FY26 and the full year result of Ather Energy Limited. So we'll go through the updates about the results, the con call summary, what the management said, and how things are looking for them. Because we need to understand, right? They recently came with their IPO and they are trying to get profitable, right? So even though they are making losses, the losses are reducing. So we look into all these details and what are they actually doing in order to become profitable. So let's get into it. So if you look at their Q4 FY26 results, their revenue increased by almost 74% to 1,175 crores, and PAT was up. The losses reduced by almost 57% to 100 crores from last Q4 FY26 of 178 crores. And if you look from the YOY revenue for the whole year of FY26, it increased by almost 63% to 3,672 crores, and their overall loss, right, which was last year around 812 crores, has come down to almost 517 crores, which is quite a good sign. So if you look at these numbers alone, right, we can see that the sales are increasing, but at the same time, the losses are decreasing. So which clearly shows that the business at this point of time is moving in the right direction. And if you look at their EBITDA margin, right, it has improved to minus 2.5%, which is quite good compared to the last year. And if you look the number which they have shared about the cost of goods sold, right? So the cost of goods sold last year was around 1.5 lakh per scooter, has come down to almost 1.10 lakh. So the main reason is obviously getting the operating leverage and obviously the better capacity utilization in the factory. And the other thing what the management said, right, along with their scooter, right, they're able to uh, sell their Ather Pro Pack. So Ather Pro Pack is a software which this upsell on their scooters, which is directly installed in the scooter, and they can use it with all the other services which they provide, and that provides them very good margin. And if you look at their attach rate, right, so management said that the attach rate is almost 93%, which means if they sell 100 scooters, almost 93% of the customers buy those attached products. So those are things helping them. And let's look at the other things which are in the favor of the company, and how well they're doing. If you look at the volume and market share from the volume perspective, right? They sold 83,000 bike, which is almost 76% increase YOY for Q4 FY26 and 23% on quarter-on-quarter basis. For March of 2026, they alone sold around 35.7K bikes. And if you look for the whole year, right, the number of scooter that they have sold is almost 69% more, which is close to around 263,000 bike. And for them, the major game changer was their new product launch, which was their scooter Rizta. And if you look at their network and brand and how they are trying to expand and everything, so in this year alone, they added around 349 showrooms, taking a total to 700. So that means, they're trying to expand very fast. They've almost increased the number of showrooms to almost 100%. And at the same time, they have doubled their service centers to 548 in FY26, and they have added around 1,143 charging points in FY26. So the total charging point which they have all over India is right now stands at around 6,000 plus. And at the same time, they are not just standing still, right? They are, developing new technology and, applying for patents. If you look at their overall patents, right? So currently, as of March 2026, they have total 643 patents filed, and out of this 643, right, 283 patents were filed in FY26 alone. So this clearly shows that the company or the management is not standing still. They are not happy with what they have done. They just want to improve continuously. And at back of it, they're developing new technologies, new stuffs, and are filing for patents. And if you look at their market share overall, for especially in Q1 of sorry for Q4 FY26 has increased to 18.6%, which was only around 14.3% at the start of Q1 of FY26. And what I will do, I will break this market share as per the region that they have divided. So the management has divided the whole of India into three regions. One is Middle India, which compromises of Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, MP, Maharashtra, Orissa, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. So this is part of Middle India. And South India includes Goa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Telangana, and AP. And the third segment that they have is called Rest of India, which obviously doesn't include Middle India as well as South of India. So if you look at all the region wise, right? So in Middle India alone, Their market share rose from 4.5% in Q1 of FY25 to almost 17.3% in FY26. That is almost a growth of almost more than three times. And if you look at the rest of India, right, they had a market share of only around 3.8% in Q1 of FY25, which has now increased to almost 12.1% in FY26. And at the same time, if you look at the South Indian market, where they are, the biggest and the strongest, in Q1 of FY25, they had a market share of only 13.2%. They have now increased that to almost 23.5%. And if you look at the overall market share, if you include all the regions and everything, currently they hold a market share of 17.4%, which was up from 11.7% at the start of FY26. So this clearly shows whatever the company is doing, they are moving in the right direction, because South India is their, how to say, their base, and they are increased their market share over there. When they entered the new region, Middle India as well as the rest of India, they have also increased, almost tripled their market share. So whatever the management and the company is doing, they are, it is actually turning out quite well. But at the same time, we need to look at the challenges, right? Because of the recent geopolitical issues, right? The price of raw materials have increased from aluminium to lithium-ion batteries, and especially the RAM, which the company uses, right? So we'll look at the main three challenges which the management has spoken about, and what are they actually trying to do. So first, we'll go through the rare earth magnet crisis, which happened because of the export control done by the countries which we used to export it. So what the company is trying to do, right? They're trying to secure the supply chains in advance so that there is no issue going forward. And in terms of the second issue which they are facing is RAM cost spike. Over here, what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to, secure those supply chains also, and introducing new technologies, which will, and with their own in-house engineering capabilities, so that will help them in future. And the main thing, right? Lithium-ion batteries, because the scooters runs on those, right? And that is their, how to say, main bread and butter, at the back of which the scooter run. So what has happened? The prices of these lithium-ion batteries has increased. Sorry, the lithium has increased from $8 per kg to almost $24 per kg, which is quite high. So what the management is saying, that they're trying to move to LFP batteries, which are not dependent upon, which does not include all the expensive other material like nickel, manganese, cobalt, and everything, so which will help them bring cost efficiency and protect their market share also. So this is what are the things the management is doing. And the other thing that they said, right, this price hike, this increase in price commodity will continue for some time. They don't know when it will stabilize. At the same time, what they're trying to do, they're trying to pass on the cost to the buyers, but they cannot do it completely. So they clearly said that there will be a short-term impact on margins, but overall they hope that in the coming months and years, the prices will stabilize. So this is what they have spoke about the market challenges. And at the same time, as the company is growing and doing much better, let's look what are they doing for their growth, right? Because that is one of the most important sector. As of now, they're still making losses. So what is something that they're doing, or changing completely, which will help them to become profitable? So they have launched their new platform called as EL scooter platform. This scooter platform is going to be in their new factory, which is going to be open in Maharashtra. So in this platform, they are able to build not just one type of scooter. They can develop multiple products over there. That is the one thing. And the other thing why they are trying to do this, right? Because this platform will help them to build a scooter within the price range of 1.1 lakh to 1.25 lakh rupees. Because if you look at the market, right, so the market is divided into various segments. The first is the premium segment, which is where the scooter cost around 1.5 lakh and above. Then the second is mass premium segment, which costs between around 1.25 to 5 lakh. Then the third is mass segment, where the scooters cost about around between 1 to 1.25 lakh, and the last segment is below 1 lakh. So currently, Ather sells a product only in the premium and the mass premium segment, and they are not at all in the mass segment at all. So imagine there is a whole market to be captured. So, and that's what they're trying to do. So with this new EL platform, they will try to enter into this into this new market, which will help them to increase their sale. At the same time, the cost of good which will be produced from this EL platform is much, much lower, which will help them improve their margin. That's the main importance of this EL platform. So if we look at their this new EL platform, it will come from their new factory, which is which is currently being in construction and in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra. So this factory will have a capacity of around 10 lakh scooters, and this will be added into two phases. The first will have 5 lakh scooters, and the second phase will have another 5 lakh scooters. So the phase one, the trials will commence at the start of Q3 of FY27, and most probably the commercialization and selling of these scooters will start either by end of Q3 FY27 or the start of Q4 of FY27. And once the production start, they will be able to produce almost 45,000 scooters per month, which is quite a good number. And if you look at their current plant, right? So current plant, they have a capacity of around 35 K a month. And what the management has said, for the past few months, they've been running at full capacity around 90 to 95%. So for me, the only thing which I'm worried about, if they're already running at full capacity and able to sell their product, and the new factory is going to, start production only at the end of Q3 FY27. So how are they going to manage it? So that is the only one concern. But the one what the management is saying is right. They'll be able to manage these things. So we just have to see how it goes further. And if it look from the guidance perspective, management did not give any specific guidance in terms of you know revenue or in terms of profit or anything like that. But what they said, right, that their biggest growth in FY27 and FY28 will come from this EL platform. And at the same time, they will keep increasing their dealership and open new stores also. So if I look overall, right, Ather has been doing quite well since the time they've come from, they have done their IPO. They have increasing their revenue and their losses have reduced. And I hope in this FY27 they'll be able to achieve at least EBITDA margin positive. So they're doing all the things in the right direction. And the biggest game changer for them looks like is the EL platform, which is going to come from the new factory. And once that starts, it is going to improve their margin and help them to achieve their profitability. So we need to keep an eye on this new factory, that there is no delay and they are able to start the trial as well as the commercial production as soon as possible. And that will really change the game for them. And I think they can, as we have seen from the data, that they've improved their market share in the past 2 years. And I think they can still increase their market share going further also. So let's see how well they do. I hope they do well, because they're trying to put a lot of effort and they're starting their new factory. So I'll keep you guys posted. And if you like this analysis, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.